Okej, så det är del 3 av att reagera på Haminations, fast att jag måste bara ta ett chips, jag är hungrig. Jag glömde lägga ut en video igår och i förrgår. Men jag ska lägga ut en video idag, fredag. 17 april. Låt oss reagera på honom.
Game that we should play next, and it usually went something like this. How about we play tag? No. How about we play wizards? No. How about we play hide and go seek? I'll only play if Jenna plays. I'll only play if Rachel plays. I'll only play if Josh plays. Please just say yes, Josh. Everything is riding on you. I don't want to play. But then it was time to move again. I said goodbye to my friends, we did another cross-country road trip, and arrived at our new house in California. I made some new friends in the neighborhood, and it was time for me to take on public school. And I hated it. But it's okay to hate things, it builds character. Plus, my grades were really good if we're going by golf rules. And having my friends with me made it a lot easier. And now I am a very well-rounded, well-adjusted, socially adept young man.
Jag när mina kompisar inte är i skolan. Jag bara är som en NPC som står i korridoren. Bara väntar på bättre tider. Det är därför jag sommar 2018.
Yeah, me and my cousin were hanging out, and we built a Lego set the other day. You like Lego? I love Legos. Did you know that Lego was invented in 1932 in Denmark by a man named Ole Kurt Christiansen? Originally, they were just wooden toys, but eventually they started making interlocking plastic bricks to create a system in which all their toys could be linked together.
Wow, han älskar verkligen Lego. Precis som jag gör. Jag älskar också Lego.
Despite many hardships, including their factory burning down, Ole and his family persevered and continued to manufacture the unique brick system. Then in 1978, the Lego minifigure as we know it was created. Minifigures are a high-value collector's item. In fact, a recent study showed that buying Lego sets was a better investment than the stock market because of how well they hold their value. This means that buying and building Lego sets isn't just a fun hobby, it's a smart way to use your money.
Damn. Jag när jag inte tänker på vad som finns runt mig.
Guys?
It's a Wii!
Wow, this is gonna be so fun!
Look, the Me channel! I want to make a Me!
Don't worry, I'll make one for you. You're probably too dumb to figure it out.
What?
I said you're too young to figure it out. And there! That's what you look like.
Herregud. Det där kan jag faktiskt förstå. Jag redigerar inte mina videos. Jag funderar på att lära mig. Skitsamma, nu fortsätter vi.
Hi, I'm Bryson, and today we're gonna talk about how a fun childhood hobby slowly devolved into a hellish war of spiteful competition. How the shame and humiliation of losing festered inside me and drove me to do anything in my power to destroy my siblings. I'm talking, of course, about the Italiano Paisano himself, Mario. But before we delve into my villain arc, let's go back to a simpler time, when I was taking my first baby steps into the world of video games. It was all so new to me. It felt like I was a cosmic pioneer exploring a different galaxy.
Jag fattar. Han forskar en annan galax. Super Mario Galaxy.
Super Mario Galaxy, the game where you traverse the universe as everyone's favorite Italian plumber. If you haven't played this game yet, change that immediately. When I play this game now, it feels like that scene from Ratatouille.
Hello!
It enthralls.
Snällt att du äter upp en människa. Kannibal.
enthralled me as a child with its constant stream of new and inventive platforming ideas. After watching Brody play Galaxy for a while, I decided to graduate from game watcher to game player. Move over, Brody. Mom said it's my turn on the Xbox. Immediately, the soundtrack in this game changed my brain chemistry forever. The people who made this music know what joyous whimsy sounds like. When I hear Gusty Garden Galaxy, it makes me believe that anything is possible. The room fades away, I float into the air, and I enter the world of the game. This was one of the first video games I ever played, so I had a lot to learn. Jumping between gravity-defying planets and walking upside down took a lot of getting used to. I collected a few stars and then headed to the Loop-de-Loop Galaxy. And let me tell you, this level broke Little Bryson. In the level, you ride around a floating water race course on a Stingray. But I wanted to get the high score. I wanted to go fast. So my thumb never let go of the acceleration button, and that meant I couldn't make sharp turns. I kept flying off the map and dying. And to make it worse, I had to use motion controls. I couldn't beat it no matter how hard I tried. I started crying and Brody had to help me beat the level. This will go down in history as mankind's second greatest defeat involving stingrays. But after that little hiccup, I was ready to take on the rest of the game and lose to Bowser 50 times. But Brody, being a seasoned veteran gamer, coached me on how to perfectly time my spin moves, and I used them to spin Bowser like a Beyblade.
So long, Bowser.
I was feeling pretty good about my newly acquired gaming skills.
Snällt att mamma sköldpadda. Vad har den gjort?
Beating Bowser as a child is a big deal, okay? At that age, what else do you have to be proud of? The drawings you made that Mom hung up on the fridge? Well, bad news. Mom will throw those crappy drawings away while you're not looking. But the achievement of defeating the king of the Koopas, that lasts forever. Then I arrived at the Rolling Green Galaxy. That sounds like a fun, easy, kid-friendly level. Not! If the Stingray race broke me, this one shattered me. In the level, you bounce on a ball that has a star inside it and use motion controls to lead the ball through obstacles and past Goombas to reach the end and unlock the star. And I just couldn't do it. I kept falling off, which made me impatient, which made me go faster, which made me fall off more, and the cycle just continued. At 6 years old, I just did not have the coordination or fine motor skills to beat this thing. But I was determined. I didn't want to ask Brody for help again. I wanted to be a big boy gamer. I hunkered down and died over and over for an hour straight. But then finally, I got past the spot where I usually fell. I was close to the end. I shakily crossed a bridge and the flag came into view. My hands were shaking. The adrenaline was pumping. I could almost taste my victory. I launched over to the last island. I had made it. I tilted my Wiimote all the way forward, but... No!
Jag antar att han inte blev så glad av att det där hände.
Literally tripped at the finish line. My confidence was shattered, and I had to go collect myself in the other room. But I would not let this fiery crucible break me. I would allow it to forge me into something stronger. I stepped back in and entered Ultra Instinct mode, and I finally beat it. And that's when I felt it. The gamer's high. All my dopamine receptors fired, and I jumped for joy.
This is the greatest day of my life!
So I'm writing an essay on cats. Cats in art history. I'm an art history.
I had emerged victorious and was ready to take on the universe, literally. I cruised through the rest of the galaxies. Nothing could hold me back. An icy hot galaxy where you skate around and fight a lava octopus? No problem. A haunted mansion galaxy where you save Luigi? Light work. A galaxy made of toys where you run across twisting platforms shaped like Mario? Child's play.
Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction.
Okay, it's not a little kick. Oh!
All my nightmares had materialized. It was an even harder version of the previous one. Skipping ahead through 2 hours of pain and agony, and I finally beat it.
Yahoo!
I'm honestly convinced that this game widened my emotional range. It's like Newton's third law. The more suffering you experience, the more capacity you have for joy. And believe me when I tell you, those levels had me suffering. Then I saved Princess Peach or whatever. This game's revolutionary gravity mechanics, top-tier level design, and whimsical soundtrack earn it an easy 100 Bryson points. But we couldn't have the game that sent Mario to space without the game that sent Mario into a whole different dimension. Super Mario 64, an all-time classic. It paved the way for so many games to enter the third dimension. I'm still waiting for Super Mario 65 to come out though. I literally can't describe the pure primal fear little Bryson experienced when seeing that giant chain chomp for the first time. And don't even get me started on that Koopa the quick race. I hate this stupid turtle so much. I just couldn't beat him. But then, one day, Brody let me in on a little secret. He's gonna win the race again!
You see that little hole in the wall? Go in.
How is this supposed to...
You see that beam of light? Look up. Follow that coin trail going into the wall.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
The sense of accomplishment and amazement at discovering these secrets for the first time was enough to form a core memory, even though I needed help to find them. It was a really nice change of pace to get help from Brody on finding secrets because usually he pulled the classic move of giving me an unplugged controller and gaslighting me into thinking I was really playing. Am I really playing? Mario isn't listening to me and this controller isn't even plugged in.
You're actually playing as that baby penguin.
Oh, cool! Back in my day, there were no video game tutorials on the internet. The only way I could learn what I needed was through rumors on the playground and hints from my brothers. So this information was very valuable. Then Brody taught me how to backwards long jump and travel at the speed of light. Obviously, this game is great, but me and my brothers usually played the remastered version on the DS. They added some mini-games that we would play together all the time. Some of my favorites were the Hidden Face game, the Babam sorting one, and the one where you draw little trampolines for Mario to jump on. And I think it's absolutely insane that there are definitely people out there with gambling addictions that were caused by Luigi teaching them how to do it. But there was also a multiplayer game where you fight each other to get the most stars, and my brothers and I took it very seriously.
Bryson's got 3 stars! Brayden, Brenner, get him!
Stay back! I earned these!
Sneak attack!
Mom, Brayden stole my star!
No cap? It's giving little brother energy. Brayden obviously ate with that, and you're Delulu if you think I'm gonna punish him for slaying. I gotta let him cook. Don't let your mentee bee get in the way of his dub. Just cope and take the L, for real, for real.
But the brotherly rivalry was just getting started. Let's turn up the heat and move on to the game that's been causing relationship-shattering screaming matches for decades. Mario Party, a family-friendly party game. This game introduced a whole new emotion to me. Bloodlust. One thing you should know about this game is that when I win, it's because of pure skill, but when you win, it's because you got lucky and those stupid bonus stars don't even count. When creating a game, it's important to strike a good balance between skill and luck, and in a lot of people's opinions, Mario Party is too much of a luck-based game. It's still super fun at parties if you're not taking it too seriously, which is probably why they call it Mario Party. Unfortunately, my brothers and I have no chill, so for us it was more like Mario gladiatorial combat. Our sibling rivalry seemed to leak into every aspect of our lives, and video games were no exception. Even being player 1 was a big deal. If my Wiimote connected first, Brody would shit his pants and disconnect all the controllers and resync them until he was player 1. We also played the DS version of Mario Party on family road trips, and I remember screaming my lungs out over losing mini-games. Something about this game is just a recipe for white-hot rage and malice. I guess that's why it's good at parties, because you get to see everyone's true colors. And it's always so tense when Toad announces the final score. Okay, I've got 4 stars and 46 coins. Everyone else only has 3, so I should come out on top.
Time to announce the bonus stars. The first star goes to the player that traveled the least amount of spaces, Brenner.
Okay. I still got more coins than him, so as long as he doesn't get the second one, I'll win.
And the next star goes to the player that lost the most minigames, Brenner! I'll f***ing kill you!
In one game, I was doing very well for myself. I had several stars and a whopping 270 coins. But this was the Spaceland map. If the center platform gets stepped on 5 times, Bowser's spaceship shoots a giant laser across the board. And of course, I was right in the crosshairs.
Hey! No! Stop! Just calm down! Don't do it!
I started resorting to more drastic measures to try and beat my brothers. There's a mini game where you have to mash the A button as fast as you can, and I decided to tip the scales in my favor. I grabbed a massage gun and put it on max speed on my palm, which caused my fingers to vibrate insanely fast. Then I put my finger on the A button and...
Finish!
As the second youngest, my older brothers were always so much better than me at everything. And honestly, so was Brenner. He was spat out the womb knowing how to use an iPad and was 360 no-scoping noobs while still in diapers. I wanted to win something for once. I just hadn't found the right game yet. Mario Kart. I don't consider myself to be a very competitive person, but as you've seen here today, video games are the exception, especially Mario Kart. Fortunately, my spirit of competition is well placed because I'm amazing at Mario Kart and you can't beat me. But I wasn't always this way. It all started, of course, with Mario Kart DS. My brothers and I would race each other for dominance, but I didn't understand the drift mechanic, so I would just kind of turn and throw bananas. And I could never beat my brothers. When they finally did show me how to drift, it took a lot of getting used to. You have to wiggle the D-pad back and forth in order to build up a charge that boosts you forward, and it was really hard for me to manage that while controlling the trajectory of my turns at such a young age. Clearly, I had much to learn. That being said, this was the first time that becoming better than my brothers at something didn't seem impossibly out of reach. I wanted to win at something for once, and I could feel the potential within myself. I wanted to be player 1, so I hunkered down and continued my training arc. Wait, I'm first! I'm gonna win! Eventually, we graduated from Mario Kart DS to Mario Kart Wii. This was the one that I've played the least because, as we already established, I don't understand motion controls. Also, apparently using a bike is the only viable option because doing a wheelie is just free acceleration, so that's pretty dumb. It didn't help me develop my skills at all, but it definitely added some great tracks, and using the plastic Wiimote was real fun as a kid. Look, Mom, I'm driving!
He's never getting his license.
Then I entered a training grounds worthy of my potential, Mario Kart 7. They added kart customization, underwater sections, gliders, and a bunch of amazing courses. And a much better drifting system. This was definitely the best Mario Kart at the time. I learned the strategies, I learned the shortcuts, and I began to step into my power. I started to be a much bigger challenge for my brothers, and Brody and Brayden could feel the reign of terror slipping away as I won more and more.
The Egyptians believed the most significant thing you could do in your life was die.
As I studied, I even found a forbidden shortcut. On the Maka Woohoo course, if you use a mushroom to boost off the track at the right angle, you'll land in an out-of-bounds area that corresponds to a much later part of the map. So, when Lakitu saves you, he thinks you're further along than you really were, so he puts you there, allowing you to skip ahead of everyone else. The first time I pulled this trick on my brothers was hilarious.
Haha, eat my dust, losers.
Little did Brody know, history was about to change. But I was just getting started. I wanted more. Then finally came Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe. They added anti-gravity mechanics and a slew of amazing courses and karts. As the games got better, so did I. But it definitely took a while for me to get used to 200cc, where the karts go insanely fast. You actually have to use the brakes in order to turn sharp enough and not fly off the track. But after I mastered that, I became unstoppable.
You're weak, just like the rest of your people. They did not deserve to exist in this world, in my world. Prepare to join them. Prepare to die!
I had demolished Brody and Braden so many times that I unlocked the final frontier of Mario Kart's skill, a forbidden technique known as item smuggling. In the game, the strongest items are given to the people in the back of the race to even things out. Basically, you purposefully hang back in the race to cycle through the best items, and then use them to take shortcuts and sweep in at the last moment to steal a victory. This strategy is especially mean because if you succeed, someone is getting teased with the chance at a first place spot for the whole race, only for you to snatch it from them in the last second. I've done this countless times to family and friends to dunk on them, and I finally fulfilled my childhood dream of being better than my brothers at something. With my enemies defeated, my thirst for victory was finally quenched. Now, I know what you must be thinking. This guy must be pretty bad at everything else if the only thing he can brag about is being good at a children's video game. And to that I say, yeah, that's pretty true. Just let me have this, please. Mario was definitely a great part of growing up, and I'll always have fond memories of playing games with my brothers, and it's been nice to finally defeat them. Little brother's gotta take what we can get. And in all seriousness, it was very sweet of Brody to always help me find hidden secrets and beat levels that were too hard for me. And I'm very happy to have so many great memories gaming with the boys.
So unfair.
Skill issue. Stay mad, honestly.
All right, well played. Let's play a different game.
Happy feet! Combo combo!
Ja, det verkar som att han verkligen älskar Mario. Se vad han gör nu. Åh nej, det här är jätteroligt att göra. Men också väldigt dumt.
Whoa there, let's not be hasty. It's me, your conscience. This ain't safe. Sledding down the stairs in a cardboard box is a recipe for disaster.
Bra intro.
Upptäck våra erbjudanden. Just nu på vattenfall.se. Rabatt på nytt delavtal.
Can you do this?
Hi, I'm Bryson, and like most of you, my essence currently resides in a corporeal form known as my body. What do you mean, most of us? Well, I didn't want to offend any ghouls, apparitions, or other ascended individuals who might be watching. The point is, I feel pain, and I can prove it. Ow. And if
någonstans som jag inte känner smärta är av någon anledning. Vänta lite, vad var det jag inte känner smärta? Av någon anledning så känner jag inte smärta på mitt smalben. På mina smalben.
If I've learned anything from my time here, it's that the internet was made for Schadenfreude. What's Schadenfreude? Well, it's kind of like... So, considering how many epic fail videos I've watched, I've decided to give back to the community by telling you all about my most painful experiences. Pay it forward, you know? Let's start with the ones that happened when I was young.
Oj herregud, du fick stolpe i huvudet. Jag har sprungit in i väggar, men aldrig fått en stolpe i huvudet.
There I was, sitting in the tub when I looked over and saw Dad's razor.
I feel like maybe I should touch that.
Thought.
Ja, det där har hänt mig också.
little me, and I went through the motions I had seen my dad do when he shaved his face. As you might suspect, small children and razor blades aren't a great mix. I cut myself up pretty badly and had to have a band-aid on my upper lip. It made it way harder to eat my tomato soup with fishy crackers, which was the real tragedy, let's be honest. Contrary to how I portray myself in my videos, I'm a very non-violent, go-with-the-flow kind of person. With one...
Inte aggressiv. Som den här killen som jag har I väggen.
One exception. Here it comes! But there was one other time when I wanted to solve my problems using a good old-fashioned knuckle sandwich. Brayden had been teasing me and pushing my buttons all day in classic Brayden fashion. I guess it was worse than the usual teasing because after a while, something in me snapped and I decided the time for talk was over and that I would let my fist do the talking instead. I walked across the yard, fist clenched, ready to dole out some justice. My heart was pounding. It was time for Brayden to pay for his crimes. I guess God saw what I was about to do and said,
"You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy."
So, for the time being, Brayden was safe from me. But, as you'll see later, that wouldn't last forever. Speaking of brotherly shenanigans, jumping on the trampoline with my brothers was always really fun. We would play dead man, have water balloon fights, and do flips. And to make things extra thrilling, they could double bounce me way higher than I could jump if I was alone. But of course, they decided to bounce me higher and higher.
Bounce him higher, together. 1, 2, 3.
And I learned my lesson and never got hurt on a trampoline again.
Same here, man.
I asked my friends to teach me how to do a backflip on their trampoline. It's kind of like a front flip, but the other way. Okay. Enough talk. I got this. Yahoo!
What is going on here?
Wow. Jag brukar knäcka mina ibland. Men jag har inte dött än. Inte för jag är katter och jag verkar ha fått 9 liv. Men det där hade inte mig.
I landed right on my head and my friends legitimately thought I had died. Somehow I was fine though, and that same day I was able to land a backflip. Little kids seem to be able to just walk away from what would have been a life-threatening injury for an adult. They're too wiggly and slippery for death to get a firm grasp on. If I landed on my head like that today, it would probably be like...
multiple torn ligaments, severe nerve damage.
Now it's time for the worst pain I experienced as a child. We were at an indoor pool about to go home. Brayden opened the door and left the building, and I was right behind him. But I stopped to look back to ensure my parents were with us. And while I looked away, the door closed on my foot and ripped my big toenail completely off. Imagine just trying to walk out a door like a normal person and the door curses you with -10 foot armor for a year. That's right, it took a year to grow back. Now imagine trying to put socks on a toenail-less toe. Instead of having armor, it's just nerve endings and despair. It sucks. Long story short, I think this is why I'm an avid flip-flop man. Now we're moving on to my more recent painful experiences.
Okej, jag måste gå och borsta mina tänder, tyvärr. Så jag kommer att avsluta videon här, men det blir en del 4 imorgon. Ha det gött och hej då. Vänta lite, jag måste bara göra en sak.